Well, hello, welcome back. Today, you remember last week, for the ones that were here last week, that we talked about that today we're going to be doing debates, okay? You were here last time, so
Yep.
you remember about that. Also, you were here last time, and I was here last time, Jim too. Okay, so, why is this happening? Girls and boys.
I think this sounds good.
I think
Yeah.
it is something that happens. People, they don't think about it, but unconsciously, girls tends to group together. I don't want to say boys tends to group together, but girls, they tend to group together. When you see my classroom distribution, when you go to one of my classes, I have like 50 or something students, and they all the girls are on one side. And the boys like, why? What do you think is that so?
I don't know, just sitting here naturally, I don't just sit.
Yeah, but I mean, it was unconscious. I mean, Unia, right? She was the last one to arrive, and then she stayed here for a second, and then she sit there. You know what I mean? I think it's something that you don't think about it, but it happens. Okay? We need to switch things up. So I'm gonna need at least 2 girls to sit in the other side, and 1 guy to sit in this side. Yeah. So what's gonna be a battle between girls and boys? I don't want that to happen. Okay, so you move to the side. Yeah. Now we have a little more equal distribution, right? 4 and 4. Okay. Today we're gonna be debating. Do you remember what is the concept of debating? Who can tell me what a debate is? You don't have to give me a lot of information, just simple words. What is a debate, please?
I think debate is we have different opinion, have to discuss.
Good. Good point. Opinions. So we're going to talk about opinions, and both of us, in this case, your groups, are going to be debating different opinions of one specific subject. Okay. So you're going to have sides, and then you have to try to defend that side because you want that side to be the winner. Understand? That's the concept of debate. Have you ever watched any like political debate on TV? Probably not. Nobody's into politics. You have.
Usually.
Yeah, political debate is all about like getting across your point against the other candidate, right? So you're always gonna try to portray yourself as the good and the other one as the bad in a broad spectrum, right? But yeah, that's what I want you to do today. So today we're gonna probably choose 2 topics, one for the first half and one for the second half, and then I'm gonna give it to you guys. I'm gonna give you time for you to discuss between you, and then you're gonna have to come out with arguments to defend your point against the other team, okay? I'm gonna be the moderator, which means I'm gonna probably sit here in the middle, but most of the talking is gonna be done by you today, okay? Because you're gonna have to speak your point of view about that particular subject. Now, I put them in groups because it helps you to get those ideas. Because if I ask you to do just one by one, it's going to be a bit more difficult, okay? So you have your 4 members to talk about a specific point and how you want to convince me that your point is the valid one and the other one is not, okay? Okay, let's start with the first topic is going to be a never-ending battle between 2 animals. Can you guess which animals I'm going to talk about? When we talk about pets, having animals at home, people tend to choose one or the other. Some people have both of them, but some people say, I prefer to have this one over this one because, okay? So we're talking about cats and dogs, okay? Who has cats here? Raise your hands. Or have a cat anytime during your life? Cats? No, never. No, no one. What about dogs? You had a dog right now.
Before.
Oh, you used to have a dog. And nobody else, never pets. No. Okay, so just because you used to have a dog before, maybe you have some experience about that, you're gonna be dog team, okay? And you're gonna be cat team. Now, I'm gonna give you 10 minutes for you to look through the internet, ask about themselves, whatever question, whatever thing that you think about it, but you have to tell me why do you think dogs are better pet animals, in your case, than cats. And then cats have to tell me why cats are better pet animals than dogs and why, okay? So you have to do a little bit of research because I can give you the time. Choose a place to sit, here or there. And then you're going to talk about that. I'm gonna write down here like some sort of like guidelines for you to, sitting that side. Guidelines to how to follow, right? What I want you to do today. But in the meantime, I'm gonna give you 10 minutes. So go through internet, ask yourself questions, talk between yourself. Remember, you are team cats and you are team dogs, okay? Why dogs are better pets than cats? Why cats are better pets than dogs? Imagine that I'm about to get a pet animal and I'm not sure what to get. So I come to my friends to ask for advice. So you're gonna try to convince me that having a dog is better than having a cat. You're gonna convince me that having a cat is better than having a dog. Okay? Good. 10 minutes. Everybody get to work together. Talk about yourself. What do you think is the thing that needs to be said in order for you to convince me about that? Alright, everybody gets to work. Cats versus dogs. I'm gonna write down some points here for you to follow.
Okay.
Dog is more active. Cat is just very cold
You
animal.
mean cat is so cold, right?
Yeah.
In like cat maybe treat you like trash. They just don't want to close you, but dog can do that. Yeah, because dog make you feel like you are a real owner, but cat make you he or she is an owner.
Staying outside.
So I think it's different. Okay. Okay, we can say dog's great.
You can get some notes, write down things for you to remember. Use your phones, look at information. Things that you have to think about. How much it costs to have a pet in terms of how much it costs to have a cat as a pet versus how much it costs having a dog as a pet. So that's something that you can argue about. It's going to be more expensive one side or the other. Okay, so things like that, like I don't know how many times you have to take it to the doctor, or how many times you have to shower it, what things that the dogs can do that the cats cannot, what things the cats can do, dogs cannot. Okay, so you have to come out with all those things too, because you have to try to make me believe that your point is better than the other one. Okay, got it?
I have a
Okay.
question. So all of us have to speak, right?
Yes.
Share our opinion.
Yes. So take a look at these things that I write down here. The first thing that your team is going to do is introduce yourself. For instance, you can say, our team is formed by Julie, Anna, Lee, what's her name? Jean and Jean over there, right? And we're going to talk about why it is more or easier or important to have a dog as an animal pet. So the first one of you have to do the introduction, okay? You choose which one's gonna be. Then the opening argument, you're going to tell, like in a very broad sense, why do you think having a pet animal of your, dogs or cats are better, okay? And then after that, supporting evidence. Supporting evidence is like you're gonna tell me, well, we believe or we know for a fact that having a dog is less expensive or more expensive, whatever. So you have to tell me those things for me to believe you, right? That's why I'm asking you to look through the internet. You don't have to memorize things. You just have to read it and then you have it in your mind and you say it to me, okay? Okay, so work on those 3 points together and you decide who's going to speak about what. You still have 7 minutes. And after you do all these things, I'm gonna be asking you questions, like about what you have said about cats. For instance, you say, oh, cats are very smart animals because they don't need to get showers very often, something like that. And then I'm going to ask you, oh, well, how often do the cat needs to get showered? And you have to tell me those things, okay? You understand? So get your information on point. Good.
Okay, we have to think more, the more reason. So, dogs is make us to feel like a real owner. It's the first one, but we have to think the more reasons.
The cost.
If you are the person,
idea?
if you are a person who like outdoor sports, so you definitely like
Oh,
dogs
that's true.
because you have to walk the dog every day.
I think.
Walk dog to somewhere every day, so it will help you to exercise.
But we have to think why dogs is better than cats. The sounds that is not the
Good for the health.
Yes.
Good for the health.
You mean if we take out the dogs, we can just
Have more
go to
time to exercise.
exercise or maybe do some exercise. Okay, that's the point opinion. Okay, anything else?
I think dog is bigger than cat. Yeah, because I like big animals.
You like big animal.
Yeah. So
Oh.
and cat is so small.
A cat so small. If you hug the cat, it sounds like doesn't have enough feeling, right? Okay. This is opinion. What about you?
And the cats are
If we can
cats are
exercise
more
to
suitable
walk
for
outside because
olden
Alright.
maybe because
because we don't need too much to take care of.
Afraid people.
Which one do you like the most, cats or dogs?
cats go
Right.
outside.
Okay, dogs
Can
over
go
there.
outside. Okay.
Maybe you can say
Cat doesn't
the dogs.
not much space to move instead of
Can be other reason. Except the you can go to outside. Maybe it can
What do you
have
think?
the more the emotional
Dog have more
connection with the owner.
Okay, listen to me a little bit. And what you're doing is
What about
good.
you
You're like
guys?
discussing your opinions between you guys. But something that I ask my students to do because help them later on when they have to explain their points, is that you write down a statement about the specific animal that you're talking about. For instance, let's say the dogs. You say you came to the conclusion. You agree. You all agree that dogs are more, I don't know, friendlier than cats. Okay, so you start your argument with that. You say we think that dogs are friendlier than cats. And that's your statement. Then you're going to explain me why do you think that's so. Okay, so try to write down a few statements for you to guide through the conversation, because otherwise everybody's going to be just saying probably the same things over and over. So you came out with those ideas. Cats, you can say that you believe that cats are, I don't know, cleaner than dogs. You can use that as a statement. We believe that cats are cleaner than dogs. And then you tell me why do you think that? You need the supporting evidence about it, okay? So write down a statement. You can write down on your phones, okay? And then you came out with those ones when the discussion started, okay? Okay, you still have 5 minutes.
I think dogs can ability is strong, stronger than cat.
Stronger like that, and maybe it can protect owners.
No, I mean is training ability. We can is stronger than
Welcome.
cat. So we can train the
This
dog,
side.
and even we cannot train it.
Alright, you mean it's smarter than cats, right? Because we can train, we can let the dog sit down or to do something. Okay, good. That's good.
Cats versus dogs. Dogs versus cats.
Cats.
Yeah,
So
you're in the
you
cat
have
side.
to go outside to do maybe some exercise.
You have to, we are discussing which animal is better as a pet animal.
And
They have to convince me that
dogs-
dogs are better than cats.
I
and you have
think
to convince
dogs
me that
is
cats
more,
are better than dogs.
more be
Okay, you can discuss with your team members about it.
than cats. Okay. Over there, have 5 reasons. Yeah, we don't. dog can protect a owner, but cat can't. Cat just play their balls or just sitting there, do nothing.
Yeah. And go.
Sit down.
Don't don't make trouble.
Make sure that you write down your name in the right column, okay? The last one. The last column.
Okay.
Okay. No.
Last one on the
It's
right.
hard to teach him. Yeah, hard to teach. Okay.
Go.
好像你的
对，这我对，
Go to
看见
work.
没有？
Oh. Because of many the working pets is always dogs.
Yeah.
Because they are smarter than cats.
Yeah.
And made so many animals.
Mm.
Okay, I think this is good.
谢谢。
Sounds good. They may work at air at a police station.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Okay, time's over. Let's start this debate. I'm gonna be the moderator. I'm gonna be sitting here in the middle, and I'm gonna be taking notes about what you say. And then based on those notes, I'm going to ask questions to make the conversation flowing. Okay, remember what I mentioned before. You have to choose one of your members to do the introduction of your team. Who's gonna be the introductory member here in this team? Who's gonna be? The introduction means that you have to introduce your members and your point. We are going to discuss about this and we supporting this and it. Okay, so who's gonna be? You're gonna be in this side, okay? The one that give you the introduction. The introduction is just for try to break the ice, because when you give a speech, always you are a little bit like scared, hesitant at the beginning. When you give an introduction, you try to mitigate that nervousness, okay? It's just like reading a shopping list. You say, today, my friends and I, you just say their names, and then you say what you're gonna talk about, okay? And then after that, we start the argument. So who's gonna be in this team? Team Dogs, who's gonna be the introductory member? Nobody wants to. Okay, let's go with Liv, okay? And here we go with Lucy. Okay, let's start, Liv. You
Okay,
start.
my turn. Okay, hello everyone. My name is Lee, and what's your name?
Jean.
Jean. This is
Yumi.
Uni, and this is Anhao and Wendy. Okay, that's all our members. And now we will talk about which one is better. We think dog is better.
Okay.
Yeah, because dog.
Okay, you don't have to think
Maybe
it
for
because.
that reason, yeah.
You're just telling today we're gonna defend
Okay.
the dogs, okay?
Yeah, dogs.
Okay, good. Now here.
Okay, I'm Amy, and here are my members.
Brazilian.
Rosalia,
Leo.
Jennifer, Angie, and Andrew. We believe that pet is a better pet than dog.
Okay, good. We have the dogs and we have the cats. And remember, we're discussing who of these two animals is better for a pet, okay? You have to work in the context of being a pet animal. Okay, let's start with the opening argument. The opening argument is when you're gonna say to us in a brief way, why do you believe dogs or cats are better than the other one, okay? So who is going to do the opening argument here?
Okay, I can go
Okay,
first.
good.
Okay, the first reason I think dogs is better because dogs is smart. You can see many places dogs will be showed up because, for example, airport or the police station. They can be they can have work to work with the human.
Okay, so you guys believe that dogs are smarter
It's
than
smarter.
cats?
Yeah, I can learn so many things.
Okay, let the cats to respond to that. What do you think about it? Do you really think that dogs are smarter than cats? Yes or no? You're supposed to say no.
Yeah,
no.
And
Rosalia.
I think the cat is clever than dogs because cats and also can protect their master, their owner, their keep owners, and
Okay, so what else do you think about cats? Give me an argument now. They started saying that the dogs were smarter. You reply saying no, cats are also smarter. And now you say something about cats that you think the dogs are not.
I think not really. It depends on what kind of dog we talk about. Maybe some dogs are smart, but it is not for the rest kind of dog. Some dog will break your house and your furniture when you are not at home. They are not smart. So not all dogs are smart.
Very good. So she's refuting what you have saying about dogs being smarter. She's saying, and we prove that the breeds is going to determine which dogs are smarter than others. Not all of them can work in the places that you have said. You cannot bring a Chihuahua to work in the police officer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a difference between them. But I mean, whatever you have said is true. It has some truth in it, but she has found some flaws in your argument. So that's what I want you to do, okay? So now let's go back to dogs. What else do you think dogs can do that cats cannot? Okay, somebody else besides Lee this time. Let's go with Jim.
Yes. Okay. Yes. The dog has a high training ability and control ability. We can train it to not do avoid to barking or killing or rape. So she can train it how to do that in that time.
Oh, so easy to train.
Okay, so we'll just move on from this point to this one. Now he's mentioned something about training. This is very important because when you have a pet animal, of course you want to train that animal because it's going to be at home, in a domestic environment, right? So he's saying that dogs can be easier to train, right? That's what you're trying to say. What do you think about these cats lovers? Do you think they are actually easier to train than a cat?
I think it's hard to do that.
Wait, let them explain their point.
I think sometimes we don't need to train cat. It can making its own life properly. It can it can go for itself and brush its own hair.
Okay.
It doesn't require that much of human care.
Lucy is saying something very important here. I mean, you have never had any cat before, right? None of here has cats as pets. No.
Yes.
Okay, so you're assuming, but I have never had cats before, but I know that for a fact because I know people that have cats as pets. What he says is true. Dogs are easier to train. However, cats, they don't need training.
In all the most situation is we have to train ourselves.
Exactly. You know, saying, having cats in that particular situation is easier because cats by default they know where to do their stuff and how to clean themselves. You don't have to teach them that kind of thing. You do have to do that with dogs, okay? So I'm just gonna write down here, cats requires no training whatsoever, okay? Which is a good thing in some sort of way, okay? Now, go back to cats. Give me something else about them. Somebody else, not just Lucy. This is all together, okay? So let's go with you. What's your name?
Leo.
Okay, Leo, tell me something about cats.
Cat is more suitable for our for modern life because like cats don't need too much take care and we don't need to take the cat to go outside.
Okay, that's a very good point. What do you have to say about that, Docs? Junie, what do you think about what he said? Cats, they don't need to be taken for a walk because they know where to do their stuff, right?
Because we are all students, so we don't have much time to doing that stuff. So,
What do you think about it?
Mm,
Do you think he's right or not?
yes.
No, you're not
You're supposed to say no,
No.
even if you agree in a debate. You say no, I don't agree, and then you say something else.
Okay.
What do you think, Liz?
I think it's bullshit.
Okay.
Because we have dogs, it can encourage us to go outside to do some exercise with our dogs. It also can improve our health. So I think it's not bad, right?
Exercising.
Yeah.
Okay, so you bring another.
Even I work. I have to work. But I think exercise is also important.
Okay, good. I believe brings an important point here too. Exercising and going out. If you have a cat, you don't have to take the cat out. So it's an animal that's gonna probably remain at home 99% of the time. Okay, but the dogs requires you to go out. So in some sort of way, it's forcing you to do some kind of physical exercise, which is going out to walk or even run with the dog, right? Taking for a park, fetch and stuff. You have to start in constant movement with that too. So it is good thing to have something that force you to do physical exercise. What do you think about this, cat lovers? Talking about exercising and cats. Cats can help people to be more physically active than dogs or not? Rosalia.
I think that cats can improve the mental and the physical health. Can improve human mental and the physical health.
But how? Give some examples.
And I think the cats accompany humans and the cats can accompany and especially old people.
Okay. We're talking about affection. Now we go from exercising and physical movement to emotional support, right? Okay, let's talk about that. Dogs. Do you think cats are more suitable animals to give emotional support to their owners?
Anyone want to share?
Wendy, what do you think?
But let's say cat can do that, but also dog can do that.
Or they both can do it at the same way.
Maybe, yes.
Okay, do you think something different, Jean? Look, it's the same. Here. The same. Come on. You're not convincing me. At this point, I think the cats are winning this debate. Okay, tell me.
Dog can recognize different smell. So if someone they have a disease like cancer or something, dog can recognize it. So
Okay.
I think that's that's why dog better than cats.
So you think dogs are more perceptive than cats?
Yes.
Do you think that's true? Cats? You know, perception is when somebody can use their senses to feel things that normally are not very easily to feel, like emotions, or what do you think? This is a topic that has been discussed a lot of time when it comes down to animals and pets, right? Like, oh, the dogs are very emphatic. That means that they can feel the feelings around them. For example, if you're sad and you go back home, the dog knows, even if you don't speak to the dog knows that you're sad, and then it comes to you and it feels uncomfortable. Do you think cats can do that?
Yes.
Okay. In which way?
Cat might shout at other cat trying to attack their master in the news. The news say that. So cat might be also a protector to human.
It's true. It's true. I mean, you use the argument that dogs can protect people, but I guess like that cats can also do that. I mean, I've seen some videos actually the cats like saving the baby to fell from the balcony, or it's like dog actually coming to bite the little boy, and then the cat just came out and defended. I think in that particular case, both can be protective of their owners. But I would like to ask all of you about this part, which is emotional support, because at the end of the day, when we have pet animals, that's the main reason that humans try to have pet animals, to have this emotional support at home, right? Which one of these two do you feel shows more emotions towards their owners? And in which way? Tell me, dogs, how the dogs shows emotion towards their owners. How do they do that?
Shake their tail.
They shake their tails, right? So when you get close to a dog and they start like wagging their tail, you know that he's feeling some feelings for you. He's happy to see you, right? How the cats shows emotions to their owners.
Cat may be rolling on the ground, and we can tell his belly.
Okay, so they roll on the ground and expect you to pet them, right?
Pet the belly of.
Okay, and Garrett's in the back. Have you know any way that the cats show affection? How do the cats show affection? That's the question. Because dogs, it's pretty obvious, but cats is a little bit different. How do they show affection? Any idea?
It may be laying on my leg, and I can staying with it when I am work or study. It's a companion with me.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. Like, in terms of emotional support and showing that emotion, that affection to their owners, I think the dogs at this point, they are seems to be more easily to identify that, right? And if you have a dog before, as soon as he hears the door, probably knows that it's you, is gonna start like maybe barking or jumping or waving their tail, so you know that they're actually happy to see you. Cats, on the other hand, they can show that too, but they're a little bit more, not that emotionally enthusiastic like dogs are. That doesn't mean that they don't show affection either. They do that, okay? Okay, good. What about one of the most important things about having a pet is like how much it's gonna cost me to have those animals. What do you think? Who do you think is more expensive to maintain as a pet? Cats or dogs? Anybody can answer that. I mean, dogs can tell me your opinion about it. Cats can tell me your opinion about it. What do you think about that? Angel, what do you think about cats? Do you think cats are cheaper to maintain than dogs?
I think cats, and I think the human keep pets and it's cheaper than keep dogs. Because cats themselves can keep themselves clean.
Okay, so you think they
so
are
don't need to.
cheaper to maintain?
Yes.
Is that true? Dog lovers, cheaper maintenance. Back to the dogs. What do you think about it? Do you think Rosalia she's correct?
I think it depends which dogs we want. Yeah, because like a small dog like a Bowman or Chihuahua, such like that. I think it may cost the same with the compared with the cats.
You think that the whole maintenance range and stuff is going to depend on the size
Yeah,
of the
depend
animal.
on size.
So with the cats,
Yeah.
most of the time they have like the same kind of size, right? Cat.
Yeah.
There, a few of them are bigger than other ones, but overall they have like the same dimensions, right? But in the other side, dogs, you have them all different sizes and shapes. You have like smaller, longer, like a bit more chubby, bigger, with a lot of hair, with short hair.
I think gold retriever must cost a lot of money.
Sorry?
The gold retriever must cost a lot of money
Why?
because it's very big and
Okay, circling back to what you say, the bigger, the more expensive, right? Which means in what you're trying to say is like actually dogs actually are more expensive than cats, right? Or no? What do you think about it? I mean,
I think you cannot have to say that because it depends on the size.
yeah.
Because dog, if cat, the small dog is you may eat the same with the cat.
Okay, so
and
Lucy, what do
that.
you have to say about it?
Okay, the statistic shows that all kind of dog have more cost than cats. Dog require $2,070 to to $10,000 per year, and cat require $2,060 to $79,000 per year.
Okay, good. So what she's
According to
according to who?
the article in MarketWatch.
Good. What she's doing is very smart. When you go to a debate, you always bring things like that. Like how the article says this, or the latest studies about this say that she's proving her point with evidence, which is very valuable when you're talking in this particular way. You want to say something?
And cats don't need frequent bath. And most cats they can keep clean without bathing.
Yes.
This is a cost.
Yes. Okay, so I think that part of the cost and the maintenance is a very, very elaborate subject that we can spend the whole class just talking about that, right? What you say is true. If the dog is smaller, probably they eat the same amount of food that a cat, right? But the problem is like not everybody has small dogs. I mean, take a look at the dog owners outside when you go to a park around, evening when they take him to a walk. There's a lot of people with big dogs over there, right? So those are definitely gonna eat more than a cat. So the expenses on just food is gonna be higher for the dog department than for the cats, right? However, some people argue that say that the cats require more money in other areas. Which ones do you think are those ones? Remember, I want you to ask or look information about the others one too, that you can just tell me bad things about it. For instance, the cats, they require something else that the dogs that they not. What is it? The problem here is like nobody has cats, you don't know. Okay, so where do you think the cats do their stuff? The poop or the pee pee? What do you think they do that?
Dog the toilet is outside.
No.
And cats need by
Yes,
cat
need to buy what?
leader. Cat
What?
leader.
Yes. So, yeah, it's true. Big dogs are going to require more food, but cats requires the cat litter,
Cat
which is
leader.
a constant siphon of money. You have to pay for this little stand that is going to keep their feces and pee there, and it's not going to smell the whole. Well, it still smells sometimes, but it's not going to smell as strong as if they just do it anywhere, right? So that is an extra thing that you have to spend as cat lovers that the dogs they don't, because you just take them to the park and they do their stuff outside, right? So it's kind of like a even in that particular situation. Now let's talk about grooming, because grooming is another important part when you have a pet. You know what grooming is? But you know what grooming. So when you take your pet to the salon to get pretty cute and stuff, right? So most people they don't do that at home because they don't have time or they don't have the skills to do it. So they have to take it to the pet shop to do the stuff. So how many times do you bring your cat to a pet shop to get groomed? Can tell me that. Just common sense. If you have a cat, do you think the cat requires a lot of grooming?
No, I think the cats don't need a lot of the grooming because a cat's fur is short and not longer than dog. So cats don't need to grooming.
Okay, what do you say about that? Can you just defend yourself about that argument? They say dogs requires it because they have longer hair than cats. What can you say about it?
But why cats don't have to? Because many cats you may have will have to do some
Grooming.
grooming
Like
or washing. I think it's the same actions.
cats, what do you have to say about it? Do you think it's the same?
It's the same. They all have to cut their hair.
Well, what Rosada says is true. Cats,
Yeah.
by nature, their hair is shorter and they're smaller. And also, have you tried to shower a cat? Well, you don't know because you never have a cat, but you cannot do that. The cat is going to scratch all over you because they hate it. So you cannot actually wash the cat. You have to let the cat to wash itself. I think he mentioned that they clean themselves. The dogs cannot do that. You need to take the dogs, give them a shower at least every 2 weeks, otherwise it's going to stink. You need to shower them. They're not gonna shower by themselves. They're not like the cats. They need to get clean.
Yes,
They need
cats
to-
don't need to shower, don't need to grooming, and the dog's hair is longer and especially summer, and their owner must to cut their furs to suit the summer weather. It's hot, so dog need to grooming their hair.
Something. Okay.
I'm sorry. Yes, maybe the cat the fur is shorter than dog, but also she neck is shorter than the dog. So if the environment is dirty or not great, so she also can no, but maybe the environment is not bad or dirty, so maybe the cat will wash themselves.
I mean, they do. The cats, they do actually shower themselves.
Yeah, but she use his tongue to. So also the dirty things also she will come inside their mouth, so she will have the health problem.
Okay, he mentioned something important that people tend to use as an argument between these two. the health issue about these two animals, right? So people say that cats are more prone to actually transmit diseases to humans than dogs, right? It's not completely proven, but people tend to say that. Maybe one of the reasons is because they lick themselves and they're kind of difficult to keep clean by our standards. They feel they're clean as a cat standard, but as human standards, maybe they're not that clean for us. So the dogs, we tend to have more control over that because we decide when we're gonna shower them, we decide when we're gonna cut their hair, when we're gonna cut their nails, right? We can do that with the cats. So there is a health issue there. Which one of these two do you feel it is more prone to have like health problems for humans? Dogs or cats?
Cat.
Cats, I say. Yes, cats. Why? Why cats?
Because cat, they don't like drink water, so have many problems.
When dog kiss to human, their water mouth will drip on human and may cause parasite problem.
That's true. That's also true. Sometimes if the dog is not treated correctly, they can transmit parasites to humans. Also, cats can transmit other things related to the fur or things like that, right? Or if they scratch you by accident, it could happen too. You can get infected because sometimes their claws can be really not clean enough for us. So in terms of health issues, I think both of them has the same kind of like particular danger level, to say as it. But overall, cats and dogs are very safe animals to have as pets. That's why we humans have had them as pets for a long time. We don't have like, well, there's people that have snakes and things as pets, but those animals are probably less, I don't know, safe to have than cats and dogs. Okay, so we have talked about different things today. The training issue. So let's just make like a big conclusion here. Which one do you think needs more training than the other?
Dogs.
Yes, good. So dogs requires more training. And also you have to add that expense to the list of things that you have to spend money when you have an animal. When you have a dog, you have to spend money to train him, unless you want to do it by yourself, which I know for a fact that Taiwanese they don't do. They just get the pet and they let the pet in the pet shop for 3 or 4 weeks when they're training, and then you pay for that. And then when the animal comes to your home, they supposedly train, okay? So that's another layer of expense that you have to add. Okay, what about the being smarter? Cats and dogs, which one do you think are smarter in terms of things that they can do for humans?
Dogs have higher limit, but in average, we think cats are smarter.
Okay. She's included there. We think cats are smart. There's a difference between street smart and I also maybe academic smart.
Oh, this is different.
Yeah, so there's two kinds of smart. You have the academic smart, which is the one that you learn when you study something, a subject. You study that well that you're very good at it, okay? And then you have the street smart, which is what we commonly call common sense. But that thing cannot be trained. You have to, it cannot be studied. You have to train it. Common sense means like your reactions to situations, how to behave around people, how to adapt yourself to different situations. I will say that cats are very good at that because they are quick, smart. They know what to do at the moment that they have to do it. Dogs are not that much. They need to be trained, but when they train, they excel in this part more than cats because they can do things after they're trained that cats wouldn't do. Not because they don't because they can, because they don't want to. That's the difference between the cats and dogs. Cats have a very strong personality. They say, I don't like to do this, and you're not gonna make me do it. But dogs are more lenient in that way. You can teach them, push them to do something, and they will do it eventually. Okay? So in that particular scenario, I think they're both equal in different ways. Okay? In terms of being smart. The emotional support. Well, who do you think shows more affection? Dogs or cats?
We think it's cat.
Within dog.
Dog.
Why?
Dogs can
We can straight to see that they're acting. Not like cat, because cat we need to maybe get what about its feeling.